We have one more young Indian with us as part of the Voice of the Young series. Hello, everyone. Good to be back with you. Today we have with us Mrinnal Karan. Over to you, Mrinnal. Let's hear from him.
So good morning, everyone, and very thank you, sir, for having me in this show, Voice of the Young series, and it is very uh, heartily welcoming for me to have you on this show. So yeah, so I will go forward with this, and uh, the thing is that uh, I have started my career, with uh, like a normal young guy, as everyone starts with normal going for PCM science, and I started my career with a science student. So, and when I was doing actually, my intermediate days, if you go back to those days, it was actually a bit of like everyone wished to pursue engineering, right? Where everyone was like going forward with like, if anyone asked what you have to do, is it's basically we will do engineering, or maybe some sort of science background, or we will go forward and we'll pursue those career in our future. But when I started my career, after passing 12th, I don't know whether the god has different destiny, and I I actually took a gap year at that time due to my, personal finances of my family. And it was actually, my family was actually struggling with the finances. So at that time, I was definitely not having this opportunity to pursue engineering at that time, right? So I have to look back into my career, what I can do actually. So at that time, I stopped, man. I didn't take any admission anywhere. I stopped it, that I have to decide whether I should go for engineering, or I should do something at now, or I should stop my studies at now. What I should do to help my parents. Though I did my schooling from a very good school, DA Public School, Hazaribagh. But at the same time, when I did my completed my schooling, it was my percentage was actually not so good. It was just 80%, and the topper who were toppers actually they got like 90, 95, and 98%. So keeping that in mind, I thought ki engineering may not be a good fit for me right now, and the expenses of the engineering in India, if you go for, it is quite expensive for a middle class family. So I thought ki I should not go for these studies, but I should first think of it, whether what I want to pursue in my future,
Yeah.
how I can help. So,
Mm.
I started struggling with finances, and I have to think of that finances every time, that how can I help my family? This is the very first question which was back to back coming to
Uh,
me.
are you the oldest child in your family?
Yeah, so I'm the oldest child.
Okay.
So one thing was there, that for what to do with my future. So future was secondary for me at that time, but the first thing was that I have to help my family at the first. My
Yeah.
preference was very. So it started all together with this problem, and it actually gave me the opportunity to think of my finances as well, right? What you should do, whether you should do some kind of labor to earn money, some kind of part-time job or something, if you can do or handle something. Then I started, so back to the days when I was in school, I go for tuition classes for chemistry, physics, and maths. So I went to that teacher. I asked him that what I should do. See, my finances are like this, and I cannot, pursue engineering for sure. He said, okay, don't worry. You give it the next year to try. For now, what you do is, I have few tuitions. If you can join me, and if you can help me, okay, because those are my students, but I cannot go to teach them because they are still in ninth or 10th, because he was teaching class 11th and 12th, and he couldn't go to home tuition and serve them. So he gave me, okay, Meena, do one thing. These are my students, and their parents know me. Why don't you teach them? You're a good candidate also. Why don't you teach them for part time? And think what you can do for the rest of the time. You will have like, you engage 2 to 3 hours in this tuition classes, and the rest of hour, why don't you think for your future? right? So you will earn also, you will help your parents also, and you have enough time to think of your future also. I started doing that. So when I started doing that, money is something which attracts everyone, right?
Yeah,
At
of
that
course.
age,
Yes.
right? So at that time, it started attracting me a lot. So I started with one tuition. I went on to like five, six, and then I started teaching batches. I forget about doing my further education. I forget everything, that whether I have to do my further education or not. I stopped it there, then and there. That I don't know what I will do in future, but I have to teach. I
Yeah.
started teaching for JEE mains and advanced and everything for engineering graduates, those who want to do engineering. So I started teaching them that, okay, then for the part time, then I asked my parents that whether I should engage in some bachelor education or not, at least for the sake of doing graduation. Then they said, yes, you have to do, of course, because now our finances are a bit of, it has came to a level where we can adjust ourselves a little bit, right? You don't have to worry that much. And at that time, father was also like his finances, which actually broke at that time due to something. He again came to that path back, whether he was earning for himself and he can actually do better for our life and for his family also. So he
Mm-hmm.
told that, okay, you have to go, at least you have to study something, and you have to take decision for your future also. You don't have to crush your future at this time, right? You cannot take decision that, okay, you have to stop classes just you are earning some money, maybe 25-30,000 for them for per month, right? You don't have to think of this short term uh, benefits, right? You have to think something which you have to furnish for the long term in future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then at that time, I started teaching students. So teach when I used to teach students, they used to come up that when I asked them, what are you doing apart from this? What is your background? So bhaiya, I'm from commerce. I'm studying uh, I'm pursuing commerce in 12th. And so what I started asking them, because I was inquisitive, that how you are doing maths in commerce, right? Why you're doing maths? Because they used to come to take classes with me for maths
Mm-hmm.
along with. So I started them, why you are doing maths? You have a commerce, right? With science background, people do maths. Then they said, no way, it's not like that. uh, we as a commerce student also study maths, and we have accountancy, we have economics, and we have statistic, all mathematical subject. We are also struggling with mathematics. That's why we are coming to you for this knowledge.
Yeah.
So then I started thinking, oh, it's great. Wow, you guys also have maths. That's really great, because so far I was knowing that economics are like a kind of art subject. So you might be studying those art subject, but if you're saying you are studying mathematical, it's really good. So what I did is started that, okay, what you study in economics? Because economics is something like we used to every day hear about, okay, employment and everything, right? So it was just from the news. I was not knowing actually these terms also. When people say we are unemployed or something, okay, you are not earning something. We only know this. But what actually unemployment means, what actually, those things, when I hear from news, it just started distracting me. Okay, economics is something which I can actually have a develop means it started I started engaging myself with news and media and everything. And I used to hear at that time Modi ji was the prime minister, and he just was a prime minister in 2014 election, right? So he was actually engaging with the economy, like he should actually do something for the economy for India and all those things, right? And at the same time, in 2016, the geo came, the geo boom. Everyone has this resources of free internet services,
Yeah.
because earlier to that we were not having internet also. It was too costly for us to have that, right?
Yeah.
So we started accessing these resources also at the same time. So news media and everything which was coming through the normal media, now it is very much visible to us what is happening across the world, right? So in 2016, when this happened, I asked various people that what I should do. I will not go for engineering for sure, because I don't have that much money now. And I want to pursue something which will benefit me in future. But when I started doing economics also, I took admission in St. College, Ranchi, very close, a small town in Jharkhand, and very close to my hometown, Hazaribagh. So
Hazaribagh is in Bihar or Jharkhand?
Jharkhand.
Jharkhand.
It is in Jharkhand.
I
So
just
when I
remember from the old days. I don't know.
yeah, so yeah, actually it was in Bihar before
Right.
that, before the partition of Jharkhand and Bihar, but
Yeah.
now it is in Jharkhand.
Yeah.
So it all started, okay, I have to do economics. Now I have to give entrances because JVS and JVS have entrances. Now I don't know anything about, only I know maths. I don't know anything about economics, right? I have only heard the news, but what actually inside the the actual meaning of the
Mhm.
proper microeconomics, macroeconomics, and all those concepts, right? I didn't have seen in my life all those things, right? So when this came, when I thought of giving, like I will pursue economics, so I have to give entrances, of course. And I went there before any preparation. I didn't prepared anything. I just thought I will give entrances. If I crack down, I will take the admission. Otherwise, I will pursue economics. I will take something where they just give admission on the basis of your 12th marks. So I
Yeah.
thought of two options. One, if they don't take me, if I don't take admission in St. Javier College, Ranchi, I will take just admission who give you admission on the basis of marks. But I will pursue economics for sure. Then when I went there, I gave the entrances. So it was all maths question basically. So I did that. And the economics question I just left. I think I have done all those Ram Nam ka tukka like that. I will do some tukka and all. And I cracked that exam. I got an admission. I got
Yeah.
my name in the list, and I got the admission. So when I got the admission, now in the first semester when I entered, actually now I have two things. First thing, that my I will not take help from my parents, of course, for my finances. I will do on my own. Second thing, from where I will get that,
Yeah.
right? Because now I have to pursue my classes also. I have to go to classes also because it was mandatory classes.
Of course. And you're not living at home, so how will you pay?
Correct. So now this was the question that, okay, I am shifting to Ranchi,
Yeah.
and Ranchi, actually I have to, fund my whatever expenditure I will incur there, right? So this was the first question, that, okay,
Yeah.
I'm shifting to Ranchi. I have fund for me, which I can take admission only. I
Yeah.
cannot leave there for with that fund, right?
No.
Now again that question came, okay, I have taken admission, but how I will fund myself? How I will
Right.
fund my education? I don't want to bother my father also for this. Then I again started, okay, what I will do is I will go to Monday to Friday, I will go to classes, and Friday I will come back to my hometown, I will teach. So
Yeah.
what I used to do, because Saturday there was, I used to bunk the classes Saturday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday evening I used to take bus from Ranchi, come back to Hazaribagh, and then I start teaching for, after 5. So it's a 2-hour journey from Ranchi to Hazaribagh. So what I do is, after the class gets over at 1, I leave the college. I used to board the bus. I used to come Hazaribagh at 3:30. I start teaching by 4
My
because
God. Mrinnal, I tell you, I am in awe. Simply in awe. Let me stop you and say, I'm in awe. Okay. It is unbelievably impressive. You are just talking about it as if you are standing in the line to buy a movie ticket.
correct.
But it is something that is really very impressive. Okay, let's hear more from you.
So what I used to do this every week.
Yeah,
Now this was my this because I have to fund myself, and I
yeah,
don't know anyone in Ranchi, right?
right,
So I
right.
cannot. I don't have that grasp of students. I don't know any students, so that I can start there also this initiative. That,
Yeah,
okay, I will teach home tuition. I will take home tuition, because here that was already there. I have
yeah,
already created that pillar here, right, in Hazaribagh, but I don't have that pillar or base, fundamental base, which I need actually to earn something in Ranchi, right? So
right.
I have the only thing left with that, I have to come back to Hazaribagh, and I have to take classes all those 3 days continuously, so that I can earn something. So what I used to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because normally you give alternate days classes. Normally
Yeah,
3 days concept is there that you give classes.
yeah,
So I convince my student, you are still getting 3 days a week, right?
yeah,
Why you are bothered about Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays?
yeah,
So they got convinced. Okay, bhaiya, they used to say me, bhaiya, okay, bhaiya, we will come Friday, Saturday, Sunday because we trust you and
Yeah.
we know how you teach, what
Yeah.
you give us
Yeah.
as a being a uh, rather being a teacher, what you give us as a bhaiya, because you are so, you know, uh, because I used to teach every basic concept so clearly that okay,
Yeah.
you should understand what actually I missed at my days, right? My
Yeah.
old days, right? What I went missing on, what I used to be like, okay, I was curious that I don't understand this topic. You should not do that.
Yeah.
So they got convinced and they used to come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every weekdays. And Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday, I used to say them that okay, you should ask me question. You if you have doubts, you come on WhatsApp. We
Yeah.
will have something. You can
Yeah.
ask me doubts. But Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we will keep it for the classes.
Take.
So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I used to keep it for the classes. But now when I used to come back to Hazaribagh to Ranchi to Hazaribagh and Ranchi to back to Ranchi again on Monday, it was quite, you know, I it was quite like I was very much tired also at
Yes,
the
of
same
course.
time,
Yes.
right? So you have to eat a lot of things. You have to be healthy for your own well-being also, right? So my health got deteriorated because I was so much, I was like a hustler. I am hustling everything, right? So I used to do this every day, every week, right? So my mother told me, is it necessary? Why don't you search something there? You come every week here. So I said I am looking there, but it's not very easy to have something, right? Then I after a month, after I think after 2 3 months, I got one tuition in Ranchi, but that was not paying me enough to fund me again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was only getting 1800 at that time for the
Yeah.
month, right? I used to teach alternate. So what I used to do now, okay, I will save something for the next month and I will teach in Ranchi also and in Hazaribagh also at the same time. So in weekdays after 1 o'clock, because my classes ends at 1 o'clock. So what I used to do, I used to sit in library till 4 and then I go back to home like by 5. And after 5, I used to start teaching home tuition in Ranchi now. So 5 to 7, I used to teach in Ranchi every day, Monday to Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I used to come back to Hazaribagh. So
Okay.
this was my journey continuously for 3 years of
Okay.
bachelor's. So
Right.
I didn't quit at that time because I have to fund that, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to take help from my parents. So I started earning quite bit because in Hazaribagh I was a well set up of batch of
Yeah.
20 30 students, and in Ranchi, I used to give only home tuitions because I don't wanted to engage much in Ranchi.
Yeah.
Then the in the lodge where I used to, live, uh, I started bargaining with the owner also that please reduce my per month rent also. So he got convinced for the few days. So he used to charge me 2300 for the room rent and plus along with extra food and everything. So we used to get tiffin services and everything. So my normal on an average expenditure were approximately 6 7 thousand in a month, because I used to come back also to Hazaribagh, so that bus
That's also.
expenditure,
Yeah.
bus fare also. So all those expenses I started calculating, and it came to like 7,000 8,000 a month. Now I have to earn that 7,000 8,000 to fund that, right?
Yeah.
So I used to earn that minimum of 20 25,000 30,000 like that. Then the at the same time, the tuition classes. So what I used to do, this was going on, and but this was not actually helping me enough, you know because I was struggling very much for this, right? I have to
Yeah.
come back. So it was not helping me very much because I couldn't focus on my studies, right? Because I am actually engaging in all those stuffs just to, fund my finances, but I'm not actually engaging myself for studies also. So in the first semester, what happened? I just secured 5.7 CGPA. So it was very, very much bad for me. You can say it was not very good for me because I have just secured. And in one subject like microeconomics, I've just barely passed. Like
Yeah.
44 was the cutoff, and I just got 45 in that microeconomics. And that also too because whatever I listened in class, I just gave that a thought and I wrote that in exam, but I didn't know exactly what they are. Even I was not knowing what indifference curve and all these concepts are there. It was so embarrassing for me that okay, I saw my marks and it was not actually what I wanted.
Okay.
Why I wanted to pursue economics, right? Because I wanted to pursue to gain knowledge also. That so this was happening. So what I started doing is then I again took a help from my the tuition teacher of chemistry. So he was actually teaching in one school there. Okay. So he asked me that I require a lab assistant, and you know chemistry also. You have done chemistry. You have understood chemistry. You have done practical in school. So I want a lab assistant who can actually assist me 4 days in a month. That's it. And of your choice, you can choose what days you want to come. So I thought, okay, Saturday I'm coming anyway, right? Friday I'm coming anyway, and Saturday only I'm taking classes in the evening, right? So what I can do is, why don't I start engaging myself in the morning hours of Saturdays just to give him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because he wanted a lab assistant and he also wanted to help me at that time. So I thought, okay, bhaiya, I can come. Okay, I can help you with the lab. I can at least give my 1 hour. So he said, okay, you come to classes. You do all lab thing for chemistry because you know all the. So I was knowing all the concepts of chemistry. I was knowing all those things because I have done. And in DAV, we used to do every experiment. So there
Yeah.
were total of 12 experiments in class 11th and 15 experiments in class 12. So I was knowing all those concepts and I just revised it again to do in the class. So it was going good. So all those 3 years, now tuition, school, lab assistant work, classes, my ongoing classes, plus my college. So
Yeah.
these were all going on. So I was actually like a man running on the path continuously for
Yeah.
hours, and he's
Yeah.
not stopping also. So that happened to me continuously for 3 years, and in that span of life, in those 3 years, I struggled, but at the same time, I learned economics very well. So there was a, I also thanks to my professor at Xavier's who have taught macroeconomics so well that I still remember all those concepts. He was the first to introduce to me this macroeconomics book, ManQ. We all studied that. So he introduced to me that book, and I have learned every concept from that book.
Okay.
So I still thanks to him for those macroeconomic lectures. And yeah, so macroeconomics was going good. Microeconomics I started learning in. So my my performance started increasing. So in the first semester, I got 5.7. In the second semester, I got 6.7. Then I got 7.2. Then I got 7.5. And then I got 7.8. So
Okay.
it started gradually increasing at that, because you have a stepping, you have not a downward sloping curve, right? At
Yeah.
that time, you have an increasing curve. So that actually relaxed me because whatever I was doing on my own. I'm doing everything, and that relaxed me at the last. That okay, I have done something, and my aggregate got to 7.7 CGPA in the last. So I got to manage this all thing on my own. But after that, again, when 2019 came, I was not knowing what to do exactly, how I'll get a job. I have done economics, right? But in corporate, if you see, from a simple graduate, no one takes in India a simple graduate who has done bachelor's in economics. They don't
No.
even bother about we should take this person. It is not like a DU university, right? That you will
Yeah.
get placed
Yeah.
at least a bare minimum of 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs. It
Yeah.
was not in our college. We don't get placement also. So I was just struggling that what I should do actually at that point of time, whether I should do focus on my some other, I should do MBA, or I should go for some government exams, or what I should do actually. I have to earn now, right? I've done my bachelor's. Now what I should do. So at that point of time, I went to my uncle's house in Bangalore, and he was living in Bangalore. He called me that you should come, at least you try that. If you get a job in Bangalore, at least with your education, whatever you have done, like uh, you have done your bachelor's in economics, and I think you are quite capable of, at least you will crack some interviews if you have good knowledge, sound knowledge of economics. You try some in. So I went to Bangalore. I thought of trying. So in May I completed my course, and in August I went to meet him. So when I went to meet him, I have to quit all my classes here in Ranchi
Oh,
and Hazaribagh. right?
Right.
I cannot do that. I cannot come from Bangalore to
No.
teach every day to Hazaribagh, right? It's a
Right.
costly expenditure. So now again, it's a bother for me that okay, uncle has called me, but he cannot fund me, right? He cannot do everything for me, right? I have to do anything. He has called me just to help me. He has called me not to fund me, right? So again, this was a problematic situation for me that okay, what I should do. At the same time, my sister was also, gradually increasing in her classes, right? So she did. So she, it was a burden for my family also. Okay, now she is also getting younger. She is also, getting older with the time, and she is younger to me. So I have to take care like what she should do, right?
Yes.
So he was a typical student who was good in maths, who was good in physics, he was good in, but she don't wanted to do by choice engineering. I I was not doing engineering because of my family problems, but she was not doing engineering because by choice. She
Right.
didn't wanted to do engineering. She was very clear with it. She told me either I will do maths honors or either I will do uh, economics honors. I said, okay, if you have that, because she was seeing me that what I'm doing actually in economics, and she got very enthusiastically connected with that. Okay, you are learning something. I want to do economics. So I said, okay, if you want to do economics, so she also followed the same path. She went to St. Xavier's College, Ranchi. So I have to fund her also. Her
Yeah.
all all whatever expenditure she has to incur, I have to fund that also. So her normal expenditure along with, it was coming 10-12,000 per month. So I have to give that also. So now I have to earn for her also, I have to earn for me also, because till the time she was in school, I don't have to fund that. If,
Right.
at least it was a bare minimum. So I don't have to think that much. But now she has taken admission in Ranchi, and now my expenditure got increased. Earlier it was only 20,000 for my expenditure plus extra expenditure for also. So now I have to think that either I have to get job somewhere or I have to again do something where I can earn something. So in 2019 August, I went there and I started, there was a online Urban Pro kind of thing where I started, uh, taking, there. So people post there that we require some teacher for maths and physics, and you have some coins, you have to expend some coins and you get a, call number of them, and then you have to give them a call whether you need a tuition teacher or not. So it was happening thoroughly with me. So I have to do that because I was knowing those concepts, right?
Yeah.
It was all a, what we say, like cooked meal for me, right? I
Yeah.
can, if I can teach anywhere. I
Yeah.
just have to go and I have to teach because I don't have to open books and go with
Yeah.
the concept.
You know
So it
it.
was a yeah, I was knowing that, and it was like I know this. I am a master of this. I can do this anytime, right?
Yeah.
So I started doing that at the same time, and I was in the morning hours. I used to search, like if I can get anywhere job. So at that time, I got an internship actually. I would say so. I got an internship. It was a he was a person who has his own startup, and what he used to do is like he used to make portfolios. He used to spend in basically stock market. He used to manage that funds and portfolios of basically good investors. He was having 20, 25, 30 investors with him, and he used to manage their funds and portfolios. And he was an IIM graduate also. So I thought he's a good man. He might be a good man because he is an IIM graduate, but he was a fraud. So he called me and he said, you have to do these analysis, and I will not pay you any penny for this. So I said, okay, I'm coming to this like 15 kilometers per day to just for the internship sake, and you should actually pay me something, right? Then only I can come back. I have that motivation to join you, right?
Yeah.
I cannot come to just okay. He is helping me with learning something new, and it is not my thing. I don't want to learn this. I was
Yeah.
like this because if you will not pay, I don't want to. It is not my choice. I will look for something else. But
Correct.
because I have to earn something, I'm not coming for the sake of learning. I'm coming
Right.
for the sake of earning. I'm not coming for the any more. I don't have any motivation of learning right now. I have only
Right.
motivation of earning right now.
Right.
So he said, no, no, you have to learn first, then only I can give you, because it is a very big task to actually manage portfolios of these investors. I said, okay, you teach me, but I need something, right? I will obviously go through those newspapers. I will analyze those things. I will give you the information. At least you should pay me at least some bucks for that, right? I cannot just come to, okay, I will learn something new and it is very
Mm.
exciting. So I said, no, this will not work for me. And the second day I didn't went there.
Yeah.
He called me multiple times, but I didn't went because I don't want to just. So I started looking something for again. So I went to BPOs for giving interviews, KPOs for giving interviews, and all those Byju's and all those companies who actually look for just for salesperson or something. So till December I used to do this. Matlab, every day I used to go to companies in Bangalore. I used to give them resume if there's any opportunities. So I went to Accenture, I went to Byju's and all those companies who actually have for KPOs, right? Your salesperson, you
Yeah.
call them and yeah, right. So they actually pay 20-25K for those things, right? So I thought if even if I get this job, it's quite sufficient. But because I was not knowing what actually I can do after economics, after doing bachelor's economics, what jobs perspective I have, what growth I have, what growth opportunities I could have. Right. This thing I was not knowing. I was not having a sense of anything that what I can do next after pursuing economics because there was no one to guide me. Because my uncle was also senior to me, but he was in engineering. He also was not having any idea with this field. And no one in my family have done economics honors or have pursued economics.
Yeah.
So, so it was like I have to struggle now, what I should do. And then at the time December, COVID came, right? And in December, it was like parents are now motivated now. So you have to stop teaching classes, right? You cannot take classes. But at the same time, school classes were going on, right? So I jumped to Zoom classes at that time. So now my classes got increased, and they were paying me actually very good amount. Means per students, I was getting actually 10 to 15K for a month. And I
Yeah.
was having 15 students,
Yeah.
right? Because I have created that market base there. So in 2019, before that, I was not having that much base also. But after COVID came, I was having that base of students also. I don't have to go to home classes also. And that saved a lot of time. So what I used to do, every time I used to do Google, what is the job perspective after, economics honors and these. So I came to know that you can do masters and then you can do something at your own. Then I started looking for colleges which actually will help me to pursue masters in economics. So I looked at various colleges of economics. I started looking all those colleges. So all those name came big name, ISI, DLA School of Economics, IGID or Madras School of Economics and all these. So when I saw the, their fees structure, so what attracted me was ISI for sure, right? Because they barely takes from you anything, but at the back they gives 8,000 stipend along with other benefits also, and you will get a good placement also, right? But at the same time, I didn't wanted to, expend something for tuitions, for coaching classes, for pursuing master's entrance. You have to give every students. I heard that they are taking economics entrance classes, they are taking tuition classes. I thought I couldn't do this. I don't want to do this because it's a if I couldn't crack that 30-40,000 will also go in van, right?
Yeah.
What I will do with that. So what I started doing is like, okay, I have enough sufficient time in the morning hours, right? And I have to teach only in the evening hours because in the morning school goes on, so no students will come to you for taking classes. So what I started doing is like, okay, I will do in morning, I will do my self preparation, and the evening what I will do is I will teach them. So normally in coaching classes also I have to learn something there, right? I have to open book. So why don't I have to open book on myself? Then I asked my uncle that, okay, I just need one room. You have a 3 BHK house, just give me one room. I need to prepare because my entrance exams are coming May. In May, I have an entrance exam and I have to fail. But by the time I decided, okay, that I have to give entrances, it was so ISI entrance, I couldn't fail actually because their application got, passed. And I couldn't feel that because they normally, you know, uh, people start applying in month of January and February for ISI, and it was March, I guess. So I was barely having 2-3 options to fill. So I filled IGIDR, I filled Madras School of Economics, I filled SNU, and I filled GIP. So I cracked for GIP and I cracked for SNU. I couldn't crack IGIDR and I couldn't crack MSc also, because I didn't give MSc exam. Basically, it was too far from my place to go for my giving the entrance. So I didn't give MSc and I couldn't crack IGIDR. So I was only having option of SNU or GIP, SNU or GIP. So then at that time, when SNU offered that, okay, you can take admission, so their offer was very lucrative because I don't have to go there. I have to only give the, fees, whatever fees they asked me. And they were having this lucrative offer that if you get teaching assistantship, we will provide you 12,000 every month as a stipend. So that was very lucrative to me, because if I will give them fees this year, and if I get the opportunity to have a teaching assistantship next year, the rest of the fees will get just covered off with my stipend, right? I don't have to pay them anything, right? So I took the admission in SNU, and when I took admission in SNU, then I got to understand, okay, I have these opportunities after this. So I started engaging with professors that, okay, then I started to be looking for various opportunities. Then and the course structure was also very good. So it was a very regressive course. So, and it was very rigorous in nature because the professors were actually very, marvelous. So it was very familiar to Delhi School of Economic course, Ashoka course, and ISI course. So whatever they were studying, I was studying exactly the same, and I cracked on my own. I didn't took any coaching classes. I didn't took any help from anyone. I did everything on my own. Right, just going engaging with books, whatever the books we have in undergrad. So I thought, okay, I will take admission in SNU, and the course is also very rigorous. And along with this, I have other benefits of having a teaching assistantship. And if I get a stipend, so my rest of the fees, which was I was not going to get in GIP, right? Because they were not
Yeah.
going to give any teaching assistantship. So that was not my motivation to take any chance for taking admission in GIP. So I took the admission. I didn't give a second thought. Yeah, I also cracked Terry. I took the admission there actually. So uh, the Energy Research Institute, if
Yeah,
you
I know.
might be know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I took admission there in MSc Economics. But I later realized that when I cracked SNU, so I got a offer letter from SNU that you can take admission there. So I thought, okay, I will take admission, and I took my admission back from Terry. So I took admission. After that, I decided that, okay, I will go for SNU, and I decided to take admission. Then they started, this course. They started course in September, 1st September. So till 1st September to next year, it was like totally they are not going to open, right?
Yeah.
So I could save my that fees, right? That they are not going to open, so I will save entirely my hostel and fooding fees, right?
Right.
Because I don't have to go. So I saved that fees, and I have managed efficient, fund for myself to give the money to them, right? For the fees thing, because I was having that, right? So after that, when I took admission, the courses were going on. Then we realized that, okay, the placement thing is not really good, in the sense that if you compare with other colleges, right? Their placement structure, their placement thing, their average placement, their median placement, everything is marvelous if you compare DSC, IGIDR, and other schools, right? So we thought of making a placement cell. We were struggling. We will call. So it was like a quite of thing that we have to struggle here also if we have to get something, because it is rigorous in nature for the research thing, academic thing. If you want to do pursue academic future in future, you have lots of opportunities. But if you want to earn just after graduating, what you will do? But after we raised this concern with our faculties that we actually want some placement. There are people who are not only motivated for academics, there are people who are also motivated for joining corporates, right? We actually need some placement assistance from your side. Then this raised to concern to higher authorities, and then they started, okay, we will give you some placement assistantship also,
Yeah.
because they used to give earlier also. It was not like they don't used to give, but the placement package should be actually that we should survive after getting graduate from here, right, in the market, and we could actually do on our own. So when I graduated from there in 2022, so I didn't get any placement from campus. So I got a off-campus placement, and that too because I used to give research assistantship. I was motivated that okay, I will go for PhD in future. But in order to pursue PhD nowadays, you need some research assistantship done and those experiences, right? Because no one takes you just because you have done your post graduation, right? They need some, okay, you have to know stata, you have to know Python. And nowadays, because of so much fight, so much competition, right, people nowadays look for candidates who know like basic econometrics, advanced econometrics.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, so I know, but I cannot directly go to join some PhD schools, right? I know all these, but I have to show some skills which. So I started looking for any research assistantship position which will actually pay me a handsome amount at the same time, so that it is paying me also good. Because in India, if you see normal research assistantship, stipend is normally averaging from 30 to 40K, right? So I was also looking for no, I should look actually something much more than this, because now I have to earn, right? I have to earn because I have to think of my family also. I have to think of myself because this was going on through, right?
Yeah.
Leave my family and I cannot just go for doing PhD because I have to think of them also, right? So I thought of no, I will do PhD maybe sometime after once I have some experiences, right, in research and publishing or something, or maybe I should actually know tools, right, Stata or something, Python or something, or maybe R or something. So I started learning those at the same time, and I gave interviews at various people, and I got one at Plaksha University, which is a very baby university in Mohali, and they used to pay like on an average above from the market whatever they pay. So I got that research fellowship there. So I joined there in March, and it was a pre thing. Like I haven't completed my graduate also, but they called me that if you can join us, and we have this post vacant, and we actually need you if you can join early. So I thought if they are paying me from March and I will getting assistantship, because now it's a dual benefit, right? Why I
Yeah.
should not join? Now the barrier was that I cannot go from SNU, right?
Yeah.
You are still pursuing graduation, you have still to give exams, and if you will go there, how you will give exams? So then I started convincing my HODs that okay, uh, I have to, because my family finances is not so good, that I have to take care of them. And this is a good opportunity, is also a lucrative one from the market if you see. And on an average, campus placement is also by or less more or approximately same, right? Everyone has got the same placement and they have joined already. So why should I get this opportunity to join? So they say. So I actually convinced all my professors that they agreed, okay, you can give, but you have to score marks. This was their terms and condition, that you can you don't have to fail in exam. So when I gave the entrance, sorry, when I went there, so uh, I used to come to for attending. I took some leaves there, and I said them also that okay, I have not completed still my graduation, so I still have to complete that also, because you will also not take if I will not complete my graduation, right?
Right.
You
Right.
will also kick me out from your. You have not completed your graduation. Why I should keep you?
Yeah.
So they also agreed, and somehow I managed both the places at the same time. I got that opportunity also. I joined that also, and at the same time I completed my graduation also. So I did this, almost for a 11 months. I resigned from there. Means I actually the research work which I was doing, actually that it got completed. So I left there in February, and after that I joined SPJMIR in Mumbai as a research assistant only. So obviously I was getting a decent hike after that, and it was a jump of almost, you can say it was a decent jump. So when I came to Mumbai, so I was looking for opportunities, and but at the same time here they called me for research assistantship, but they were not having those researchers which I actually wanted, because normal, if you see, the management institute have different kind of research, right? They
Right.
have case studies and all
Yeah.
those things, right? But in normal, if we see our pure academics of economics, they do extensive research, right? Which I was not getting here. And I also wanted to quit, kind of academic, because I was seeing that the growth path is actually, though I got a job, but the growth path is not very lucrative, right? In India, academic, because in terms of growth, if you will see, just for the namesake, you will get opportunities. You will become research manager, you will become all those things, right? After a few years of if you give it your time, right? But at the same time, you're not getting any, payment things, right? As you get paid in US or UK, right? That is one thing which is not here in India, right? Because on an average, if you see people doing research manager at different places, they are RMs now, but they are hardly earning 9 lakh, 10 lakh, right? So I wanted, okay, this path is something which is not very good in India, right? And I wanted to be in India, right? At the same time, even if I do PhD from abroad, I will come back to India and I will do something. So I thought ki now I want something which is kind of research also, right? Which I can pursue also in future, and at the same time I'm getting paid for it also, right? Because I was listening to these people at ISI that they are having decent placement, like 17 lakhs, 18 lakhs they are getting. And so I thought, okay, no, since I've, and this was happening because I started seeing money from after just passing 12th, right?
Yeah.
So now you have this mindset, okay, I cannot barely sit at the minimum, right? I
Yeah.
have to touch that maximum, right? Because when you started earning from the, very, 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 like at student level of age, it is quite of you get attracted towards money, right?
Sure.
And
Sure.
at the
Sure.
same time, you know that potential of money, having money in your pocket, right? That what you can do with money. So I started doing this research, ki, okay, what I should do and all, right? And where exactly I should go. So recently I shifted to Crisil. I got this opportunity and Crisil. So I recently joined Crisil in month of August. So I was having 2, 3 offers, but I joined Crisil. So I cracked these interviews day and nights. I gave actually 180 interviews in last 6 months, actually, if you say 5 months, basically. So this was a whole journey of me from, how I shifted my career from uh, being a science student to a economics graduate, and now working in Crisil.
Well, I am in awe. It is simply awesome, and it's unmatched. It is simply unmatched. Okay. I mean, your devotion to your family and your
Correct.
devotion to yourself, and you know that you have to do things to make money. This is very good. I must congratulate you again and again that you have done it. Crisil is like A plus. Okay, Crisil is A plus. It's not international, but Crisil is Crisil. I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
joke. Not a joke
Yeah.
to get into Crisil. You can crack
Correct.
any MA. This cracking Crisil is not a joke. Okay, not.
Correct, correct. I have gone through that path, and I can see that what actually Crisil is like. I gave 5 interviews continuously back to back,
Yeah, yeah.
and their positive feedback also.
Yeah, so
Their
you
feedback
will,
was positive.
they are, I mean, I don't want to ask you because I know they pay well. They
Yeah.
are a
So
finance company, so they pay
correct,
well.
correct.
They have
They
money,
pay really well.
they
They
pay
pay
really
really
well. They have
well.
money, they pay really well, and you have a
And
very bright future ahead of you.
they have an advantage, sir. One advantage is that they have a large source of client, which are a large investment bank of US.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I will be working independently for one, investment banking,
Yeah.
investment bank. So it is one of the three large investment bank which I will be working for, and I will be working entirely independent for that project.
Well, they have
So
to
they
hire
can be
people who can work independently. See, this is the thing about these places. They don't want to supervise you because there's a waste of
correct,
time, right?
correct.
So anyway, congratulations, you've done it. It's an amazing
So
story and it's really great. And I hope to hear from you in 1 year to see how
correct,
much
correct.
money you have made.
So obviously, sir, this is my motivation, and I also wanted, to think of this because my family, what they was struggling, I didn't want to see them struggling now in future also
They
the
won't
same way.
struggle now. They're done. They're done.
Yeah.
They won't
And
struggle.
my one story also I left. My father was very scary of buying or purchasing a house for him because he saw crush in his life, that he was very scary with all these concepts,
Yeah,
that okay, I will save money, but I'm not going to invest anywhere, because he
yeah,
he got means he was actually having a business, good business, but his everything was stolen from his shop,
yeah,
and he
yeah,
was actually devastated. He got ruined with that after that.
yeah, yeah.
So
I understand.
after that, he didn't invest it anywhere. He just used to save money, and he thought, ki, okay, I can give you this money, do whatever you want. But I wanted, no, it is your money, it is your hard-earned money. I don't want a penny from you, and I will give you something which you always wanted to have in your life.
Yeah.
So I just recently bought a house also for them,
Wow.
and I gifted them actually. So yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I can only say that I'll repeat it. It's awesome. Okay.
So the
And
journey and the
journey
journey
is
which
very
I
successful. And I say we have heard a lot from you. Every piece was fascinating. And the only thing is now to catch up with you 1 year from now
correct, correct.
and
We
to
will we will
see.
surely catch you, sir.
Yeah,
And
I'll catch up with you 1 year from now and see where you are and how much, what else you have done. Because Mumbai is a place where you can rise
correct,
very fast and you work
correct,
so
correct.
hard and you work so determinedly, you will make it. Okay. You
And
will.
I'm seeing that growth in myself also, sir. That
Yeah.
whatever I have struggled so far, that is paying me now.
Yeah, it is paid.
It's
It is
paying me.
totally done. I am saying you are done. It's finished. Now it is the struggle is over. Now it is only a growth path. It is only a
Correct.
growth path. There's nothing else. And forget any PhD and all. This is all I always tell people. PhD is only for very few. You are not.
Yeah. So this is what something I have dropped off my mind, because my sister is now doing. She will be doing masters. So I have thought of stopping it here, because now if she cracked into some good colleges, because I have said her that you can do marvelous, you crack for ISI or whatever you want to do, or maybe IGIDR, go for it. And now you take care of parents, because I have taken so far
Yeah,
taken care of my parents. Now you have to take care of your parents at least,
yeah. Okay, good.
because whatever they have sacrificed, you have to
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. Let's end this here today,
Yeah. Okay, sir.
and we'll come back to you. You let me know. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure.
Whenever you have something to add in 6 months, whenever you have something to add, you don't have to be this long. You can come back for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Whenever you have something to add, I'll be happy to have you here. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Okay?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrinal. And thank you. I mean, you've told the story so well. I, for people who didn't have the problems that you have, it is just amazing.
Correct.
It's very
And
cool.
I'm also helping students of Jharkhand and Bihar, sir, to pursue something if they have lack of resources or
Yeah.
something. I have helped many students, so they are in JNU, they are in BHU, they are doing from IGIDR, so I'm helping them. Surely
Wow.
that.
Wow. All I can say is you're a one-man marching band.
So I want, like, people of Jharkhand and Bihar should actually come out, and they
Yeah.
should actually think what the actual world looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's do like this. One day I will talk to you when we are not recording this. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So in 15, 20 days, on a weekday, I'm usually easier to schedule. We'll just
Correct.
talk. Okay. I usually talk at the end, but right now the recording is pretty long. So I don't have time for that general chit chat with you. I'll send you, for a weekday around 10th September or so, just to talk. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure.
All right.
We will connect.
We will
Yeah.
talk at that time, and let's end it here now. And thank you, Mrinnal, so much. It is an awe-inspiring story, and the fact that you are still helping other students, that's just fantastic. So anyway, bye, everybody. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye. Okay, let's end the meeting.
Thank you.